Ever wonder why your dog does that strange thing they do? Today, we're diving into the intriguing world of canine conduct, shining a light on those peculiar habits that leave us scratching our heads. Dogs, like us, have their own unique language, full of odd behaviors and curious quirks. And we're about to decode it. So buckle up and get ready for a journey into the canine mind as we count down the top 10 weirdest dog behaviors. Stay tuned as we count down the top 10 weirdest dog behaviors. At number 10, we have tail chasing. Now, you might think your dog is just trying to be funny or even chasing its own shadow, but there's actually more to it. Dogs chase their tails for a variety of reasons, and it's not always for fun. One of the primary reasons is exercise. Yes, you heard it right. Dogs sometimes chase their tails as a form of self-entertainment and exercise. It's a quick way to burn off energy, especially in younger dogs. Then comes curiosity. Puppies are especially prone to this behavior as they may be doing it to figure out what that thing following them around is. Lastly, it's important to note that excessive tail chasing can be a sign of medical conditions, like allergies causing itchy skin or even obsessive-compulsive disorder. So if the tail chasing seems excessive or is accompanied by other unusual behaviors, it might be time to consult a vet. Next time you see your dog chasing their tail, you'll know why. Coming in at number 9, grass eating. Have you ever caught your furry friend indulging in a little bit of lawn salad? It might seem strange, but it's actually quite common. Dogs eat grass for a variety of reasons. One of the most common reasons is dietary needs. Some experts believe that dogs eat grass to make up for a lack of nutrients in their diet. They may be trying to get more fiber, or they might be seeking out certain minerals found in grass. Another reason dogs might eat grass is boredom. Yes, your dog might just be looking for something to do. Lastly, some dogs eat grass when they're not feeling well. They might be trying to induce vomiting to relieve an upset stomach. So, if your dog is a grass connoisseur, now you know it's pretty normal. But of course, keep an eye on them to ensure they're not consuming anything harmful. At number 8, we have the adorable head tilt. You've probably seen it, and it's likely melted your heart every time. But have you ever wondered why dogs tilt their heads when they're listening? Well, let's shed some light on this endearing canine quirk. Some experts believe that dogs tilt their heads to adjust their pinny or outer ears to better locate the source of a sound. It's their way of fine-tuning their already exceptional hearing. Others theorize that it's about visual perception. When dogs tilt their heads, it might help them see our facial expressions more clearly, especially those obscured by the snout. It could also be a learned behavior. Dogs might notice they get a positive reaction from us when they tilt their heads, so they keep doing it. It's as if they're saying, "Look how cute I am. Now, can I have that treat? Now, isn't that head tilt even cuter knowing why they do it?" Number 7 on our list is circling before lying down. Ever watched your furry friend turn in circles before settling down for a nap? This is more than just a quirky habit. It's a behavior deeply rooted in a dog's ancestral instincts. Centuries ago, wild dogs didn't have the luxury of cozy beds or plush pillows. They had to make their own sleeping arrangements. By walking in circles, they were effectively trampling down tall grass, leaves, or snow to create a comfortable and safe sleeping spot. In addition to this, the circling ritual also served as a security measure. It helped dogs to ensure there were no threats or dangers lurking in their chosen sleeping area. Fast forward to today, our domesticated dogs have inherited this behavior. Even though they have comfy beds waiting for them, they still perform this ritual. So your dog's bedtime ritual is actually a throwback to their wild ancestors. At number 6, we have the infamous butt sniffing. Now, we may find this behavior a bit off-putting or even embarrassing when our furry friends decide to engage in it at the most inopportune times, like during a stroll in the park or when we have guests over. But for dogs, it's a completely normal and essential part of their social interactions. See, dogs have an extraordinary sense of smell, far better than our own. They use this to gather all sorts of information about their environment. And yes, that includes other dogs. When dogs sniff each other's behinds, they are actually picking up on a unique scent that each dog carries. This scent is a complex mix of pheromones that can tell a dog everything from the other dog's diet to their health, even their emotional state. It's essentially a way for them to say hello and get to know each other better. So butt sniffing, while embarrassing to us, is completely normal for them. Digging into number 5, we have, well, digging. A behavior that may leave your garden looking like a mole's playground, but to our canine friends, it's all part of their natural instincts. Dogs dig for a multitude of reasons, and understanding them can help you manage this behavior better. Firstly, they might be channeling their inner explorer, digging holes in search of potential prey, much like their wild ancestors. Boredom could also be a factor. Just as we might fidget or tap our feet when we're bored, a dog might start digging. Another reason could be the weather. On hot days, the soil beneath the surface is cooler, and your dog might dig a hole to create a refreshing spot to lie in. It's like their version of an air-conditioned living room. So next time your dog digs a hole in the yard, remember they're not trying to ruin your lawn. They're just following their instincts. Moving on to number 4, we have humping. Now, this behavior may make us chuckle or feel a little embarrassed, but for dogs, it's quite a normal part of their communication. Dogs hump objects, people, or other animals for a variety of reasons. Firstly, humping can be a display of dominance. It's one way dogs establish their position in the social hierarchy, especially among other dogs. Secondly, dogs sometimes hump as a form of play. This is common among puppies who are still learning social boundaries. Lastly, humping can also be a sign of excitement or stress. It's a way for dogs to release energy or deal with overstimulation. It's important to note that humping is not always a sexual behavior for dogs. Spayed or neutered dogs can also display this behavior. It's typically more about communication and less about reproduction. Remember, humping is not always a sexual behavior for dogs. Howling into number 3, we have howling. Now, isn't this a fascinating behavior? You might be wondering why your furry friend starts to howl all of a sudden. Well, there are a few reasons for this. Firstly, howling is a primal form of communication in dogs. It's their way of reaching out to their fellow canine friends, or perhaps alerting you to something important. Secondly, dogs are known to respond to high-pitched sounds, like sirens or musical instruments, with a howl. So the next time you're playing your violin and your dog joins in, know that they're just feeling the vibe. Lastly, howling can also be a sign of anxiety or distress in dogs. If your dog is howling excessively, it might be a good idea to check in with your vet to rule out any health issues. So your dog's howl is their way of communicating. Whether they're saying, "Hey, I'm here," or "I need help," it's their special language that we get to decipher. At number 2, we have rolling and smelly stuff. You've probably wrinkled your nose at your dog's choice of perfume more than once. But why do our canine pals insist on doing this? The answer lies deep in their ancestral roots. In the wild, dogs would use potent odors to their advantage. By rolling in smelly stuff, they could mask their own scent, making it harder for prey to detect them. It was a clever way to sneak up on dinner without getting noticed. But there's another theory too. Some animal behaviorists suggest that dogs roll in stinky substances to attract attention. It's like their very own pungent business card. When they return to their pack, the smell lets others know where they've been and what they've discovered. So while it's not great for our noses or our carpets, it's just another way dogs are being dogs. So your dog's love for stinky stuff is actually a survival instinct. And finally, at number 1, we have barking at nothing. At least, that's how it may appear to us humans. But in reality, our furry friends could be responding to stimuli that we simply can't perceive. Their keen senses can detect sounds, scents, and movements far beyond our human capabilities. So, when they're seemingly barking into the void, they might actually be warning you about something they've noticed. Another reason could be that they're just bored. Yes, dogs can get bored too, and barking can be a way for them to entertain themselves. It's a form of self-soothing or even a game they play when they've got nothing else to do. And let's not forget about attention-seeking. Sometimes our pets just want our attention, and barking is their way of saying, "Hey, look at me." So the next time your dog starts barking at what seems like nothing, remember, there's probably more to it than meets the eye. And there you have it, the top 10 weirdest dog behaviors explained. We've learned a lot about our furry friends today. From chasing their tails to howling at the moon, dogs have a whole host of fascinating behaviors that might seem strange to us. We've discovered that these actions often have roots in their instinctual behaviors or are a form of communication. They might be trying to tell us something, satisfy a primal urge, or simply having fun. Remember, understanding your dog's behavior makes for a happier and healthier pet. Thanks for tuning in.